Why, hello, welcome to another vlog. We just got back from church and we actually have a little time before we have to commence our soccer Sunday. I don't know if you can hear in the background, but Jordan is watching a game right now, actually. Honestly, can we just take a second and admire my makeup? What is that? Oh, so I did a really quick, like a 5-minute kind of makeup this morning, and because I was running a little late because daylight savings and totally messed me up. I think I don't know, when I used the shadow stick, the e.l.f. one, I think it wiped some of the eyebrow mascara, the Thick It Stick It, but I feel like my skin looks really good, and I'm not even wearing the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I just have concealer and powder foundation, the Essence powder foundation. I actually have the Essence concealer on. It doesn't look bad, but yeah. Anyways, so I think what I'm gonna do is actually, yes, I do have a quick sewing project that I can just kind of take care of real quick. It's just putting together a blanket that is one of those tie blankets I just need to tie up again, and then I'm going to set up to start my other sewing project and actually just see where that goes. I do want to, I think, grab some lunch actually before I do all that, and then I might change just so that way I can, be ready to go when the time comes for me to head out to soccer. But yeah, welcome to another vlog. It's gonna be very sewing project heavy, and then I leave for Cierra's Bachelorette party in 3 days, so I have a little bit of that to prepare for as well. What else do I have going on this week? Oh, I do plan on decorating and doing some spring cleaning, just redecorating the house and doing some spring cleaning as well. So that's what's going to be going on this week. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I may relax for a second, maybe grab a snack or something, and then I'll get started on those sewing projects. Well, hello. So it's Monday. What happened yesterday is my Oma called me, then I called my mom, and then I got distracted with computer stuff, and then had to go to soccer. So I didn't get a chance to get started on the project, but now here we are in the sewing section of the studio, and I have things already laid out. I have the skirt actually laid out, and then I'm going to drape the top because that's actually going to take a little bit. I'm really excited. This material is so cool, and let me show you kind of what I'm doing a little bit more close up. So hold on a second. Let me grab ya. Okay, so as you can see, I have skirt pieces laid out, and this one is the back, so that's why it's on the fold, and I have the front left and front right because there will be a slit in the skirt. And you can see here, actually I'm not doing the full length, I'm doing a shorter version of it, and on top of it I actually extended the shorter version a little bit just in case. I haven't really fully decided on how short I'm going to go. So I actually measured out 1 inch longer than what the pattern is stating. Hold on, let me just get a little bit better view. But what the pattern is stating is their short point for a shorter version of the skirt. So I'm just doing 1 inch longer because I would rather it be longer and I can shorten it than vice versa. It's a little bit harder to lengthen after you've already cut. So that's what I have here. And then right now this is just folded over because I am placing this piece, and then I will actually, I think I got way too much material because I would eventually, at first I wanted to do the long version, but I ended up deciding to go short. So that's where we're at right now, the layout. You can kind of see, I don't want to mess with it too much, the material. Let's see if it'll focus. There you go. Yeah, so the material is a very sparkly purple color, which is so interesting because the base is actually pink, and then the sequin portion the sequin mesh portion is blue, so that's why you get that light lavender color, which I think is just so cool and adds a lot of dimension. So I'm really excited for this project. If you haven't already guessed what aerial dress I'm making, comment down below. I'm pretty sure this is a big hint. I'm going to finish pinning that piece, and then I'm going to cut this, and then I'll get started on the top. So it's already in the afternoon, and my goal today is to get everything cut, and then I'll be done sewing by tomorrow. And I have a few more hours until I have to leave for practice, so I'm hoping I can get that all done before I have to leave for practice. So cross fingers, I'm gonna be focused, I'm gonna put on my headphones and just tackle this. Because honestly, cutting is the longest part of the process. So no more rambling, gotta get to work. Okay, so what you just saw actually was me getting a 30 by 30 square piece of this material, and that is what you need as like a start for draping onto the mannequin. Now this particular mannequin is the closest to my particular size. I bought this years ago, actually back in college, and this mannequin is the closest in terms of my waist and hip measurement. However, the bust is not as close as these two measurements, so the good thing is that it's bigger, so I can always take it in. So I usually don't mind doing the tops for this, and I can make adjustments based off of the fact that this particular area is bigger. Now, if you are new here and new to my like sewing project vlogs, I am mostly self-taught. Most of the women in my family, if not all actually, now I think about it, know how to sew, have been seamstresses, have patterns from my great-grandmother. I'm actually probably going to be getting some more patterns from another aunt who was a professional seamstress, my grandmother, my mother, my own patterns that I have collected over the years. And I've started sewing, just quick little story time. I started sewing and being really interested in like middle school, and when I was 15, my Christmas presents for that year, which I am so thankful for, from my parents were a sewing machine, a mannequin, and different sewing items. So that is what started it all, and they taught me how to sew, they taught me how to cut, read a pattern, and then I went to design school and I got to learn more technical skills, and I got to take a draping class and pattern making class, and I have all these books, which actually I had to bring out one of my old books to figure out, because it's been quite a few years since I've done a cowl neck, so I'm like, okay, I have to remember, what am I supposed to do again? So that's why I like to hold on to those books. So yeah, I have cut two 30 by 30 30 inches by 30 inches, by the way, pieces. Now, mostly it's going to be 30, the length of it. It's supposed to be a 30 by 30 box piece, so you can have it perfectly on the bias, which is the diagonal line on material, which gives it actually a little bit more stretch and more drape and more movement. With this particular material, I don't really have to worry about that. There's a lot of stretch, a lot of drape to it. So I didn't cut a perfect box, but it'll work. No, it'll work. So my next step is to actually mark and pin where I want the cowl to go, where I want the pleat points to be, up on the shoulders. Now the other thing is, I guess I should step back a little bit, is the reason I cut two is I'm going to have a cowl front and a cowl back. If you don't know what a cowl neck is, I can insert a picture here where it's just draping in the front, where it looks like, I like to say like those old curtains that you see at like your grandma's house, where it kind of drapes like this and has a little bit of pleating to it. But yeah, I'll put a picture here so you can get an idea if you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna start by pinning this, and then I'm gonna start, then I'll take my first 30 by 30 piece and pin it to here and kind of play with it and see how I want it to go, you know? Woo! Okay, so I placed my pins where I'm wanting like the shoulder point to be and where I want the cowl to be. I'm thinking like right here. I don't want it too revealing. Like I don't want it to be like down here because I'm not very busty. And cowl necks can emphasize if you're really flat chested if they're not hitting at a good point. So I wanted to go a little bit higher, and I'm putting my pins, the center pin actually up, more out instead of like directly in, because I'm actually going to use it as a tool for when I go to drape to kind of almost like hold it there. And then these are going to just normal shoulder points. Like I'm not going way out at all, because I think it'll be more comfortable that way. So yeah, I'm going to start there, and then I'm actually going to take one of the pieces. Actually, a good thing it's actually not really see-through because I don't plan on lining this. And I'm going to I'm going to turn it to the side, and I'm actually going to fold in the corner like this, and that's going to be my facing. Now for right now, I'm going to leave it like a triangle shape, but when I start sewing and getting everything fitted, I will finish it off so that way you don't have that triangle shape in the lining. And what I'm going to do is, so I have my triangle shape facing this way. I'm actually going to have it facing, because it's going to be the facing, and I'm going to put it up against the mannequin, and I'm going to kind of go, makes it a little more difficult because this is a higher one, and I'm going to start draping it like this and kind of pinning to see if, you know, how deep I want it. So I'm going to just start messing with it and kind of playing and moving things around. I'm going to get started on that to try to get my shape. So as you can see now, I have like my drape shape that I want, my cowl neck shape that I want, and I keep kind of turning the mannequin towards me because I am trying to make sure like it looks very even, and like the lines that are coming through here are very even, because I don't want them to be asymmetrical, and I want this area to look as symmetrical as possible. Now I know this is a cowl neck, like it's it's gonna do what it wants to do, so I'm not trying to be too picky about it. So the next thing, since this is a pretty stretchy material and it's also on the bias, what I plan on doing is actually pulling this tight up against the waist. And this is going to probably end up looking a little bunched because I'm not putting any darts in it. At least that's not my plan anyway. I may have to. Just depends on how everything goes. My plan is to kind of pull this tight, and so I can cinch in the waist, and then the skirt will be kind of like how this is laying, which is actually going to be pretty fitted. That is the start of the cowl neck. So I'm going to start pinning and getting this taut to where I want it. Okay, so I marked where the side seams, waist are, and the shoulder points are, and I used pins to mark where those are at, and I carefully took it off, and now it is laying flat here. I kind of don't want to mess with it too much, but I'll show you more. But the first thing, but before I do that, I'm actually going to do the back. And for the back, it's going to be the same process, except I just do it on the back. And I think what I'm thinking I want to do for the back is I want to go a little lower. I think that'll just be cute. So this is mirroring the center like bust point on the back. So I'm actually gonna go a little lower because I just think it'll be fun. So I'm probably gonna go like right there. And I'm pretty much gonna be doing the same thing. Okay, so I just finished pinning the back, but it is 3:30, so I'm actually going to take a break and get ready for practice, and then I think I'll come back later this evening and get to tackling the rest of this, and I'll kind of walk through adding seam allowances. This is turning into a tutorial vlog, so I hope you are enjoying it, and if you are, hit the like button and subscribe if you are new here. I don't talk about that enough in the beginning for vlogs, so yeah. So I'm gonna take a quick break, get ready for practice, and then I will check back with you guys in a bit. Well, hello, and it's actually it's still morning, so you can hear my bread maker going in the background. I was starting to record this when it was quiet, and then as soon as I hit record, it started going, so I hope you can hear me. I have just been enjoying my coffee and doing computer work and just little admin stuff and making some calls that I need to make. I'm gonna probably eat some lunch real quick. This time change has messed me up a little bit. I don't know if it messed you guys up. But after I kind of get some of this going, I am going to get back to that dress, and I'm hoping I can finish it up today, which I think is pretty possible. I just have the top to finish cutting and finish making that particular pattern, and then I can put them all together, fit, all that. So luckily it's fairly simple. There's not a ton of seams compared to some of my other projects that I have done before in terms of costumes where it's a ton of work. This one seems to be very simple and it's going really well, knock on wood. And hopefully I can get that done in a couple hours actually, and then I'm being really optimistic with that. And then I'm hoping I can do some errands. If not, I'll do those tomorrow. Actually, I need to go to a fabric store with Cierra to get the color that she wants for her tie that she wants me to make for her groom. And then tomorrow will be, tomorrow, honestly, my plan is to finish the dress today, and then tomorrow will be errands and like that, going to Joann's and getting ready for the trip, like packing and stuff like that, because I plan on leaving Thursday morning. I haven't actually figured out what time. Actually, I need to figure out what time I'm gonna do that. So that's my plan tomorrow, is to get ready with all that, and then also get ahead on editing, and that way I don't have to worry about it, because Thursday I'll be driving to the Airbnb and starting that whole thing. I do plan on vlogging. I think I've said that before, but I do plan on vlogging the trip, so that'll be it's gonna be so much fun. Cierra, one of Cierra's bridesmaids / maid, she maid of honor, kind of has this whole theme. It's Disney theme, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm excited. So I probably grab a bite to eat and snack, and that way I'm all good to go, and hopefully I can get this done in a couple of hours. Okay, so we are back at the cutting table, and you'll see that I have the pins. As you can see, I have a bunch of pins on the material, and that is outlining where I marked on the mannequin. And what I need to do now is actually add some seam allowance to the pins. So I need to pretty much go out, I think I'm gonna do 5/8 from where the seam will be. So these pins are actually showing where the seam would be on the mannequin or on me. So I need to add the seam allowance so I can make sure the fit is correct. So that's what I'm gonna do now, and then I will be able to get into sewing. So hopefully I can knock this out really quick. Like I said, I'm gonna do 5/8 all the way around. Up at the top, I may not be able to do 5/8, so I'm actually gonna go a little smaller. But yeah, so I'm gonna do this real quick, and then we'll get on to sewing. Okay, so as you can see, I have now my pieces cut out. You may notice that they are a little different than when I first showed you, and it's because when I first cut them out, I noticed that the armholes seemed really, really small, and the armhole is this particular section right here. And so what I ended up doing is just making the armhole bigger, and that is just by moving down the starting point on the side seam, and starting and creating an armhole from there. So now I'm going to grab the skirt pieces, which is the back, and then I have, depending on what side I want the slit, well, let's see, I think I want it on the left side. I need a mark. Okay, so crazy how this material like changes color with the, depending on how the light hits it. Okay, so I'm going to start piecing these together, pinning them, and then we will sew. Finally, that took so long because it's just, I had to make the adjustments, I had to make sure the measurements were right, so that always takes time. So right now I'm pinning the front skirt portion. I'm gonna sew these together first, and then I'm gonna attach it to the front top. And then I'm gonna sew the back skirt to the back. And then because I'm gonna be doing a side seam zipper, and that's how, you know, I could go the other way, but it just doesn't make sense to attach all the pieces of the skirt and then to me that just doesn't make sense. This fabric is not super delicate, but I think if I went and did sewed everything, I would have to seam rip, and it's just like, I don't really want to do that. I know it may seem like a little crazy and a little extra, but I'm also not 100% how I want the fit of the skirt to be, so that's why I'm giving myself a little bit more material to work with if I decide to change my mind in terms of the shape. I can't change it too much because obviously it's cut, but I have a little bit more leeway doing it this way. So pin this and then go from there. I have to move things around on my desk to get the sewing machine set up. Okay, so as you can see, I've made a little progress. The back and the back top and the back skirt are actually connected as it's at a seam here, and I put it on the mannequin just to kind of see where we're at and to see if the drape is looking the way I want it, which it is. And the armholes, I think making them a little bit bigger was a smart move. Sorry, I have like soccer going on in the background. Up here, I think I'm gonna be ooh, I just pulled the thing out. Okay, I'm gonna be probably adjusting this a little bit, but I'm not 100% sure yet. What I am gonna need to do, as you can see, we have a huge chunk right here. I hope you can see it. Yes, we have a huge chunk right here that I think I'm going to, honestly, I'm gonna pull pretty tight, and I'm going to pin it, and then I'm gonna kind of trim it off But like I said, we'll see what that looks like. And then I might do the back as well. I'm sorry, the front as well. I'm going to need to do that just because I like the idea of it being a little fitted in the hip area, but kind of go out a little easy. I don't want to do it in a way where the side ends up looking a little weird, so I'm going to play with that a little bit. And I just sewed the front to the front skirt, so I need to press that and then kind of go through the same process. And then I'm going to attach the I'm going to attach the shoulder seams. I don't know why I cannot talk in these past couple days, because my brain is going faster than my mouth. That's why. I'm going to attach the shoulder seams, and then on the wearer's left, so on this left side, I'm going to attach the side seam after I trim this, and I'm going to attach the zipper as well. No, am I going to attach the zipper? No, I'm not going to attach the zipper. I'm going to actually put it on. I'm going to pin and actually put it on and get an idea for fit. And so that way, because taking the zipper on and off is not an easy task. So I want to have that sewn in and kind of just be done with it. So yeah, that's the progress of where we're at right now. I do have a little bit of time before I need to get ready for practice, and then once I come back, I will get right back to it. Okay, we are back, and as you can see, I made a little bit of progress, but I figured I'd walk through what I have done. So the initial skirt pattern was very square, and I want the upper portion of the hip area to be so closer to the waist to actually be a little more fitted. So I needed to create more shape, and so what I did was I used my hip ruler or hip curve, and I kind of lined up from the waist to where the end of the ruler hits the end of the skirt, because I want this to kind of flow really seamlessly, and that's what created this shape. And then I cut that out, and now I have folded the front, this is the front portion, in half so I can mimic it on the other side, so that way it's the same shape on both sides. And now I'm going to cut this, and after I cut this, what I'm going to do is lay the skirt on top of the back and pin it and make the same shape there as well. And then after that, I'll be able to sew the side seam, the shoulder seam, and then I can go into fitting, and then the hem and zipper, and then we're done. So I'm going to get moving on this, because after I get this done, I have some errands to do and I need to pack for tomorrow. Alrighty, well, here she is. It's a little hard to tell, but yeah, everything is all done. Zipper, hem, shoulders, armholes, it's all done. I am really happy with the way it turned out. I love the cowl on the front and the back, and I love the slit, I love the length. And if you want to see the look come together, then I will link the short and or reel down below. Comment down below if you guessed right, if it was the purple dress from the end of the movie, of the original Little Mermaid. And you know, perfect timing, because the new live action is coming out in May. By the way, not sponsored by anybody. Yeah, so I'm really excited, but I'm glad this is done. Now I'm going to clean up, and I need to get to packing. Actually, I only have a little bit, so probably I'll be packing after practice, so I'll check with you guys then. Okay, so I have been actually home for a little bit and just been starting to put things out and start packing. We ran to Target and ended up not having things I was looking for there, except for I picked up the canned margaritas for the weekend. And then we came home, just had some dinner, so just been kind of doing things around the house, like folding laundry, but I have everything kind of set out, but I'm still trying to figure out some things. So here's what I have out right now. As you can see, I have suitcase, I have my toiletry bag, which I'm actually going to fill up in the morning with makeup, and because I'm not leaving like right away in the morning, I have a little some time and actually have an errand to run in the morning. I have a backpack, got some shoes here. I have my Chelsea boots, some thigh-high boots, and my Vans. I'll probably be wearing my Vans. Actually, I need to grab my other Adidas because we plan on going on a hike. We'll have to see how my knee is. But I just figured I'll bring those just in case. And then I have my little mermaid theme backpack. Like I said, this whole Bachelorette is very Disney themed, so I'm bringing that. And then I have this shirt which I got off Etsy. I can link it down below, and it says Under the Influence. This is everyone is getting a shirt with like their favorite princess, and so that's going to be fun. And then I have another Disney shirt, again very Disney / princess theme. I have 2 pairs of jeans. I think I'm gonna wear the Hollister ones tomorrow, so that way because I don't need that many jeans. We're going from Thursday to Sunday, so we don't need a whole lot. We don't need to overpack. And I think I just hit the lens. We don't need to overpack. So I actually got, and then tomorrow, Friday is also St. Patrick's Day, and we do plan on going to like a nicer winery in the afternoon before our princess dinner. And so I have this really cute sweater dress. Actually, you've seen this in a previous vlog. Again, I'll link it down below. It's from Amazon as an option if we're wearing dresses, or just having some options, because unfortunately it's going to be colder. So that's the thing that stinks, is I don't really have like a nicer green dress that'll be warm enough. But if we are going a little more casual, I have this cropped sweater. This one I believe is from Wild Fable. Of course, I will fold this a little bit better. Yeah, it's from Wild Fable, so from Target. And so those are my green options since it's St. Patty's, and also green is Cierra's favorite color. And we move over here, and I have pair of sweats, and then my Powerline sweatshirt, 2 sports bras just for if I want to just be more comfortable on the drive home. I have this sweatshirt that I think I'm going to wear for the hike, and then I have these olive toned leggings, which as you can see kind of go together for our hike on St. Patty's Day morning. I know we're a little nuts doing a winery bachelorette, and we're going to have a hike thrown in there, but Cierra's a very active person, so we're going to be active, and actually I'm not mad at it either. I heard hiking down there is really cool. I have another pair of leggings for, I'm assuming I'm honestly kind of thinking drive home. Of course, got to bring the knee brace, and then I have this Champion windproof, like a windbreaker for the hike as a layer, and then of course bringing the red wig and the aerial dress that I finished making, and then I have ears for just in case. I'm not 100% sure if we're all wearing ears on the day we're wearing matching shirts. Not sure yet. And then of course I have like my normal socks, pajamas. Actually I need to figure out pajamas. Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna start putting things into the suitcase, and then I'll check back with you guys tomorrow when I pack like my makeup and toiletries and before I head out. Alright, good morning guys. I have just finished filling up my skincare and just normal toiletries over here. Not too many changes honestly with that. I do have a new eye cream and the Lawless Forget the Filler overnight lip mask in there. That's the only thing that's different than previous pack with me's. So I actually am going to be doing just a simple face and packing my makeup after I use it. So let's see. So of course I am going to be packing the e.l.f. Halo Glow in the shade Fair. I'm also going to be throwing in the brushes that I'll be using as well. Fortunately, I didn't get a chance to clean them before this trip. For concealer, I'm going to go in and I'm going to use the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is a tried and true. Never lets me down. So This is a must when I am traveling. And for brows, I'm actually going to bring the NYX The Brow Glue in the shade Dark Brown, as well as the Micro Pencil in the shade Ash Brown from NYX. NYX is my favorite for brow products. Okay, so for cream bronzer, I might be going a little overboard, but I figured, you know what, why not? So I'm gonna bring the NYX Wonder Stick in the shade Universal Light. This is a cream bronzer and highlighter. And then I'm also gonna bring the Makeup Revolution cream bronzer, and this is in the shade Light. For cream blush, I'm gonna take the NARS the multiple in the shade Orgasm, and I'm gonna bring the Rose Ink Lip Cheek and Color in the shade Foxglove. So I have two different options for creams. For powder, I am going to be bringing the Essence 16 Hour Powder Foundation. This has just been the powder that I have been reaching for. For bronzer, I'm also going to be bringing first one is the Glowish Mini Bronzer, and this is in the shade Medium. And then my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer, also in the shade Medium. Yeah. So I have a matte and glowy bronzer option. For powder blush, I'm going to take the Benefit Mini Box Blush in the shade Peachin, and then the Ulta Beauty Ulta Beauty Flush Blush in the shade Pink Smoke. So I've, again, two options in two different tones. For highlight, I'm going to bring my e.l.f. Glow Gleam Beam Palette. Again, options. So for eyes, I'm going to bring the Matte About Hue palette because it has tons of colors, and this is going to be a fun trip, and it's very Disney and colorful theme, so I want to bring this. So for eyes as well, I'm going to be bringing my whole ColourPop Super Shock, I think it was Heart of Gold collection, where it's all of the Disney princesses. So I'm going to be bringing all of these because I think they're just going to be so much fun. Hopefully I can fit everything in here. These are the eyeliners I'll be bringing. I have a brown, a white, black, a liquid liner, and some colorful ones. So these will be the liners. Okay, and lastly for lips, I'm going to bring the e.l.f. O Face in the shade Dirty Talk, the Essence Soft and Precise Lip Liner. I'm still testing this out. This is in the shade 05 Legendary. Of course, Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss. This will probably go in my purse. Then I have the Essence What the Fake Plumping Lip Filler, the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat and Pillow Talk, and the ColourPop Blotted Lip in the shade Talker. So that's everything. I am going to organize this a little bit better and hopefully fit everything in here. Oh, and I realized I forgot mascara. I'm going to bring the e.l.f. Flash and Roll, and this is in the deep brown color, and then the Maybelline Sky High in black. Just so I have, again, two options during the day, night, you know, probably a little extra, but it's fine. So gotta get this organized and then get it all packed up. Alright, so it is all in. I really love this bag. This is from Ulta. I will link it down below if you're interested in it. So let's zip this up and get ready to go. Okay, so we are all packed and ready to go, and I'm actually going to go ahead and end the vlog here. I do have a little bit of a drive ahead of me, so thank you again for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for new videos every single week. I really hope you enjoy the more tutorial style of me creating the Ariel dress from Little Mermaid, and comment down below if you've seen the short and give some love over there as well. It's also on my Instagram, which is @FromHemToStem. But yeah, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in my next video, which will be in Fredericksburg. Bye.